I'm Yutaro.
I'm Matt.
I'm Brooke, and this is Crash Course History.
Today we're going to talk about how the turmoil between Japan and the U.S. paved the way to the attack on Pearl Harbor,
which made the U.S. enter World War II.
This is where Pearl Harbor is located. It's in the Hawaiian island. Japan and Pearl Harbor are 4,000 miles apart, making it very inconvenient for them to attack. To the right of Pearl Harbor of the map is the U.S. Japan declared war on its neighbor China in 1937 because they thought the only way to solve its economic and demographic problems was to expand into China's territory and take over its import market. The U.S. stuck up for China. The U.S. tried to put sanctions on Japan.
Sanctions are measures taken by a nation to coerce another to conform to an international agreement or norms of conduct, typically in the form of restrictions on trade. In simpler terms, U.S. sanctions were used to control Japan.
Before Japan attacked China, America supplied Japan with oil. After the attack, though, America stopped supplying Japan with oil. Japan was pretty upset about this, so they negotiated with D.C. for months trying to get their oil back and stop the sanctions. However, the U.S. would not budge, so Japan got kind of mad.
Japan decided that war with the U.S. was the only answer. The attack took place on December 7, 1941. The U.S. wasn't expecting Japan to attack Pearl Harbor. They were expecting them to attack one of the relatively nearby European colonies in the South Pacific, the Dutch East Indies, for instance, or Singapore or Indochina. Again, Japan was 4,000 miles from the Hawaiian Islands, so it was very inconvenient. Pearl Harbor was almost undefended because of this distance. The Japanese plan was simple: destroy the Pacific Fleet. That way, the Americans would not be able to fight back, as Japan's armed forces spread across the South Pacific. On December 7th, after months of planning and practice, the Japanese launched their attack.
A 1,800-pound bomb smashed through the deck of battleship USS Arizona and landed in the part of the ship where ammunition was held. This ship burst into flames, and more than 1,000 men were trapped inside.
Fun fact, or maybe not such a fun fact. On the USS Arizona, the entire band died.
Thank you, Leela. Torpedoes hit the battleship USS Oklahoma. It sank with 400 men inside. By the time the attack was over, every battleship in Pearl Harbor has sustained significant damage. Crippled or destroyed 18 ships, 300 airplanes, almost 2,500 men were killed, and other 1,000 were wounded.
Another fun fact. On the USS Arizona that day, 23 sets of brothers died.
The Japanese' one goal was to destroy the Pacific Fleet, but they failed. The battleships were no longer most important. Aircraft carries war. When Pearl Harbor was bombed, most of the Pacific Fleet's aircraft were away. Pearl Harbor was saved to awaken the sleeping giant in the U.S. After years of discussion and debate, on December 8th, Congress approved Roosevelt's declaration of war. 3 days later, Japanese allies Germany and Italy declared war against the United States. More than 2 years after the start of the conflict, the United States had entered World War II.
It's time for the open letter. What's this? A moment of silence to the fallen soldiers. Now a quote from President Roosevelt. He said this quote the day after the attack on Pearl Harbor. Yesterday, the United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked. No matter how long it may take us to overcome this premeditated invasion, the American people in their righteous might will win through to absolute victory. I believe I interpret the will of the Congress and of the people when I assert that we will not only defend ourselves to the uttermost, but will make very certain that this form of treachery shall never endanger us again.
This is a picture of the Pearl Harbor now. The USS Arizona lies under the water. There's a memorial built over it so people can remember what happened. Oh, another fun fact, or probably not so fun fact. There's oil still leaking out of the USS Arizona.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week
On Crash Course History.